Wednesday what? So I have a Wednesday what that I want to share.
Oh, goody. I like the smirk on your face, too.
Oh, thanks.
You're
Thanks.
welcome.
I was working on that for like a half hour before we started. You know?
Excellent job. I'm very excited about this Wednesday what.
Oh, man. Well, this is a special Wednesday what in my mind. And the reason is this is one of those things that is totally unexpected.
Got me intrigued.
Yeah. We actually like to go occasionally to a local barbecue joint here in town. And when you're thirsty and you just need a great drink, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all do it, right? We're always like, hey, they have the best drinks. They got the best ice. They fill them up right. Come on. We all do it. Mm-hmm. We're like, hey, we know we can get a really good drink there. So occasionally we'll be in the mood. We're like, I'm just really thirsty. I need a soda. This is where we would go. This local barbecue place. We stopped. It's probably about 3 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago. We pulled up to the drive-thru. We ordered 2 larger sodas, like 32 ounces, I guess is what they are. Oh, wow. Right?
Y'all went
they're the larger ones, right? Where they're like,
you were thirsty.
Come on, let's get the ice. Let's get the the whole shebang. So it's a hot day, you know. You can gulp half that thing down, you know, in 100-degree weather, right? So we thought, okay, let's get our drinks, pull up to the drive-thru. Person comes on and says, hey, how can I help you? We tell them what we want, and sure, come on, pull around. Okay. You know, sometimes you get folks that are like...
so you just ordered drinks?
Just drinks.
Okay.
Because, you know, you get all types of people, right? Meaning you have some that are struggling a little bit. Hang on just a second. Hey, can I help you? What can I get for you today? Yeah, right? So you have those. Then you have the ones that are like, hey, how are you? You know, how can I help you today?
Right.
You know? What can I get for you? And then you have those who go the extra mile. They're like, oh, okay, you like our pumpkin bread? Would you like that warmed?
Yes,
right?
I would.
So it's kind of like that little extra effort you get. So this person this particular day was just pretty much the person that's like, hey, how are you? You know, what can I get you?
So they're the medium tier.
Yes.
Okay.
Tell them we want our drinks. Sure, pull around. So we're pulling around, a couple of people in front of us, waiting our turn. And eventually we get up to the window there. It's a couple of minutes. Nobody's there at first. And we're like, okay, wait for the person to come back. All of a sudden, this younger, probably mid-20s maybe, I would say, maybe a little bit older, but definitely maybe around mid-20s. We'll call her Allie.
Okay.
And so we pull up to the window, and, you know, typically, you know, you're waiting for somebody to kind of come back to the window. You know, there's nobody there right away. And I have my card in my hand. So here she comes. She comes up to the window. She starts to hand me the drinks, and I'm handing her the card. Like, you know, here you go. And she has the biggest smile on her face, and she hands me the drinks, and she says, don't worry about it.
Oh.
And I'm like, what? And she's like, she just says, don't worry about it. And she hands us the drinks, and she goes back to doing her thing.
Oh, wow.
And so
that's going the extra mile.
I pull up, and, you know, we're just like putting our drinks in the cup holders, and we're putting our straws in there and everything. We love to pass it on, right? We love to pay it forward, and we believe in that. But what a beautiful thing, because totally unexpected. And I was just absolutely amazed. You know, I was like, wow, this is so awesome. What a wonderful person to be so kind. Because we were more than prepared. I mean, something so small to pay for that. Here's the thing, though. We leave there that day, and we're totally impressed by this. You know, it just, and this just goes to prove the little things and what the little things can do, how it affects people in so many ways, and can improve your day, can improve your mindset, can improve your heart and everything that you do. And so we left there with a different outlook. And so it was like 2 weeks later, we go back. And it's another one of those hot days, and we're thinking, let's go.
Here comes the 32s.
Not expecting anything, okay?
Right.
Do not know this person, anything. We pulled up to the window, a repeat type thing here that happens. And when we get to the window, she comes over. It's the same person, and she hands us the drinks, and she says, don't worry about it. 2 times in a row.
Wow. You're going to think I'm oversensitive. But when that kind of thing, just even like you said, even though it's such a small act of kindness,
Right.
it is kindness being shown to you.
Right.
I'm just echoing, so I don't know if my comments are worth it. But so you could be having a really bad day, and just that small effort
Right.
that probably didn't really take a lot of her. That kind of makes me tear up.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm like,
yeah.
thank you, Allie.
It's the same.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. I had to actually pull over, and I was emotionally affected at that moment.
See?
Because you think to yourself at that moment, not just once, but twice. And she did not, there's no way she knew that it was us again. I mean,
Right.
she may have recognized us at some point, like, maybe I've seen them before.
Just think of how many people come through the
But-
drive-through, though.
Exactly.
There's no way.
Exactly. And, you know, I would be interested to know if there's anybody else out there that this has happened to at maybe this local place that potentially a barbecue place. I would be interested to know, just because it would be so wonderful to know if there's like a wave of kindness happening. And if for some reason there's other people, can you imagine, like, if she did that for, you know, 5 people in a day, how many of those 5 people are doing things for other people? You all know, right? Because you go out. Here's a prime example. I've noticed this more than once. You go out and you're in traffic, okay? You're driving along. And all of a sudden you think, oh, okay, well, I'm going to slow down. There's tons of traffic everywhere. I'm going to slow down and I'm going to let this person that's waiting to come out in traffic out in the line. Because there's so many people who don't do that. They're
Right.
fighting over space. They're like, no, that's my 6 inches.
Guard your hole.
Please. Please. Yeah, I can't let you have that. You know, that's right. So if you stop long enough to allow someone in, and generally most people are like, hey, thank you, really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
More often than not, just about every time, the person behind me will do the very same thing.
I love when that happens. It's like a chain reaction.
It is a chain. And it's the same thing like with a door or something like that. It just amazes me. And it impresses me when kids do it. Like you see kids do it, opening doors. You know, they'll see someone, and all of a sudden you see this 10-year-old stop and hold the door for someone. You know,
I love
it's
that.
just awesome. Has that happened for you too? Have you noticed?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. There's a restaurant very close to our house that they actually have it on their register, act of kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what'll happen. I'll get emotional just talking about it. Somebody will just start it and they say it's just a chain that happens.
Right.
Eventually it gets broken, but I mean, because you never know, somebody might just can't afford. But they'll just say, hey, I'm going to pay for the person behind me.
Mm-hmm.
That's just so touching. And I hope that everybody's encouraged today that's listening to, it doesn't have to be anything large. Open a door,
Right. Right.
pay for somebody's
Exactly.
drink,
Yeah.
do something just so small, but in their eyes, it could be huge.
Yeah. Exactly.
I love that. We'll start getting emotional here.
Start your own chain. You know, if you're in a neighborhood, I mean, there's tons of things you can do. If you feel like, you know, you're not able, you don't go to work, or maybe you don't drive a car, there's tons of things you can do, and, you know, leave small, kind notes for people on their mailbox, or
Oh, I like that idea.
bake some cookies, maybe leave some for folks, you know, that you really care for. There's just tons of things that you can do for people. A simple phone call or a note in the mail. You know, if you can't necessarily pay for something, so many things. We have a neighbor that has some beautiful children that live down here in our cul-de-sac. And I know it was them. I know it was because I really got that feeling in my heart that it was one of their youngest little boys. It was so cute. One day we came home and there was a note in our mailbox, and it was drawn out with a beautiful little picture with crayons. And it was written out on the little piece of paper that had a person with a little house and everything. And it says, "You are amazing. You are one of our best neighbors." And it was so sweet. And it was just the sweetest little note. It didn't have a name or anything on it, but it was just the sweetest little note left in our mailbox. And I hung that on the refrigerator. It just touched my heart so much. But even little kids, I mean, you know, have that effect and can start a chain, because what that does to someone else and can make someone else feel so good, and pass that along to a friend or family member or neighbor.
That's a wrap.